Hello everyone, welcome to the class.
Hello everyone. Hello Professor Qiu.
Last class, we made a comparison and a description of the aesthetics and characteristics of Chinese and Western painting. Today, we'll focus on traditional Chinese painting and its aesthetic taste.
Chinese calligraphy and painting is one of the most concentrated expressions of the Chinese nation's wisdom and creativity. In a sense, it marks the highest level of Chinese civilization in the field of classical culture and art. For thousands of years, they have gone through a long journey from the beginning, childlike, mature to sublimation change from reality to art.
Chinese and even the Eastern world's view of the universe and nature. The attitude to social personnel, the pursuit of beauty and eternity, have been manifested in Chinese painting and calligraphy. Artists, including unknown folk artisans, vividly recorded the spiritual dialogue between the subject and object world in an aesthetic way. This kind of language sometimes reached the height of philosophy. The vertical and horizontal strokes like sitting, like walking, like flying, like moving. The ink image contains emotion thinking and reflects the Tao, expresses the personality and even the experience of the universe of life.
Chinese painting is rooted in Chinese traditional culture. It coexists with realism and impressionism. It advocates the application of artists' conception and ink painting techniques. It also pays attention to expressing objects with lines, showing human nature and nourishing nature in the painting.
First of all, Chinese painting is implicit and quiet compared with the object itself. It pays more attention to the artistic conception and spirit contained in the object. Artistic conception is a form of expression of life in art, that is, rhythm and charm. What the Chinese painting artists pursue is a realm of music, a kind of rhythm.
The thick or light ink in Chinese painting reveals the artistic interrelations between ambiguous and substantiality. The slightly exaggerated shape is real, is fantasy. Between the likeness and the unlikeness, the rhyming inscription, in a few words, tells the theme of the painting and the artist's sentiment, shows the implicit beauty of the Chinese people.
The implication of Chinese painting is also reflected in the combination of flowers and poetry. The combination here is not only the seen promotion of Chinese painting, but also the combination of painting, meaning, and poetry. Commenting on Wang Wei's paintings, Su Dongpo said, "Look at the painting of Mo Jie. There is poetry in the painting. The painting, consciousness, and creation method of Chinese painting, namely the artistic view of freehand brushwork and artistic conception of the artistic method."
Yes, Chinese painting from Gu Kaizhi marks the entry of literati into the painting world, but also blowing the characteristics of Chinese painting poetry. Chinese painting focuses on to form the spirit. Western painting is represented by oil painting. In the process of painting, it can be consistently altered and superimposed. Chinese painting, represented by ink and brush painting, is generally completed at one time, at least to minimize mistakes. Reading a good traditional Chinese painting is like having a dialogue with a beautiful and noble soul. The shock it brings to people is incomparable.
Writing brush, ink, mineral pigments. Silk, shrine paper are the tools of Chinese painting. It can be divided into figure painting, flower and bird painting, and landscape painting. Figure painting emphasizes vivid graphic through the facial expression of the characters, body language, the performance of the environment, to highlight the inner world of the characters. The flower and bird paintings express their aspirations and feelings by means of objects, to praise life, eulogize the nature and the heart. Landscape painting emphasizes poetic painting, showing the magnificent and rugged or beautiful and handsome mountain style. Through the artistic conception of blending scenes, the beauty of nature and the pleasure of scholars are closely combined together.
According to the painting techniques, it can be divided into meticulous painting and freehand painting. The beauty of lines, composition, and the laws of Chinese painting, as well as the beauty of artistic conception, form, and art, are expressed in Chinese painting. So, how do we appreciate Chinese paintings? I think it can be appreciated from the following aspects: Chinese history, cultural background, literature and art, and China painting color and the painting skills of the charm of the eras to taste China painting works.
Such as noble ladies in Tang Dynasty are a series of paintings drawn by Zhang Xuan and Zhou Fang, two of the most influential figure painters of the Tang Dynasty, when the paintings of noble ladies became very popular.
The paintings depict the leisurely, lonely, and peaceful life of the ladies at court, who are shown to be beautiful, dignified, and graceful. Four most renowned paintings in the series are Portrait of Lady of Guo Going Sightseeing in Spring by Zhang Xuan, Court Ladies Preparing Silk by Zhang Xuan, Court Ladies Adorning Their Hair with Flowers by Zhou Fang, Court Ladies Swinging Fans by Zhou Fang.
Zhang Xuan used fine brushwork to make paintings of people and was especially good at painting noble ladies, infants, and pommel horses. Zhou Fang was influenced by the pure and detailed style of the Jin Dynasty artistic Gu Kaizhi, and his portrayals of court ladies are characterized by round faces and plump figures. So let's do another example.
Dwelling in the Fuchun Mountains was the work of Huang Gongwang, who lived in an unspectacular and unfulfilled life. In the 7th year of the Zhizhen region period of Emperor Hui of the Yuan Dynasty, 79-year-old Huang Gongwang traveled with Wu Yong, his junior fellow apprentice, from Songjiang to Fuyang, Zhejiang province. Immediately captivated by the beautiful scenery of the Fuchun Mountains, famed as nature's gallery, he decided to stay and paint, thus ending his traveling days.
The dwelling in the Fuchun Mountains presents panoramic view of Chunming Village, Miao Peak, Daling Mountain, and Fuchun River in early autumn. The scenes magically unfold in a changing perspective, revealing new details in a truly kaleidoscopic aesthetic experience. Huang Gongwang applied a sepia tone of translucent beauty to render the ambience of autumn, with the contrast of the bright colors above autumn mist. The painting is effortlessly lifelike.
Exactly what makes a painting so captivating that it fascinated generations of Chinese literati? Think about its painter, Huang Gongwang, who acquired the ultimate freedom of mind by abandoning himself to nature. thus becoming part of nature. To be one with nature is the very state generations of learned Chinese have aspired to. At the same time, the painting's odyssey over the centuries imbues viewers with strong emotions about separation and reunion, those between men, between objects, and even between men and objects. No wonder one cannot help but sigh with mixed feelings viewing this masterpiece. Professor Qiu, can you recommend some Chinese painters in modern times? After class, we can have a deeper feeling of the charm and different beauty of Chinese painting in different periods.
Sure. Huang Binghong, a great master of modern Chinese landscape painting. He is called the best painter of the Chinese people. Qi Baishi, master of Chinese painting and calligraphy in the 20th century. Xu Beihong, the founder of modern Chinese fine arts. Zhang Daqian, the most legendary master of Chinese painting in the 20th century. Pan Tianshou, the last master of traditional Chinese painting. Fu Baoshi, representative figures of Chinese traditional fine arts in the transformation period of modernization in the 20th century. Li Keran, outstanding masters and poets of calligraphy and painting in modern China. The reformer of new Chinese painting. Wu Zuoren, a link between the past and the future in the history of contemporary art. An outstanding artist and art educator. Li Kuchan, master of freehand flower and bird painting in modern China. The last traditional literary painter. Liu Haisu, an outstanding master of the fusion of Chinese and Western painting in modern China. Guan Shanyue, mainstream Chinese painters in the second half of the 20th century, the second generation representative of Lingnan painting school.
I hope that you have a general understanding to Chinese paintings through today's course. Of course, just by one short lesson, it can only be a cursory glance. To truly appreciate the beauty of Chinese painting more deeply, we need more appreciation of the works. I suggest you can choose a certain period or a painter after class. Get to know the unique beauty of Chinese painting step by step. That's all for today's class. See you next time.